Book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Verse 3. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear and in closets shall be proclaimed upon the housetops. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory. Call halal, la Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Waha, Rachak, Kodasbakatham. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity, risking their lives and freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwatini Akim out there listening and learning. Shalom to the heathen, Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad, looking like the heathen scattered in the heathen's lands, but subscribing to this truth. To you I say Shalom. Once again, it's the brother Yahweh Sap out of the GMS Cleveland camp, and a fellow servant coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahweh Shah. I have another lesson. It's a continuation of the chapter on electronic mind control. I believe I stopped on page 176. I'm gonna start at 176. It says, after the demise of Purix Roundtable, he spent time with social engineer Aldous Huxley in Tecate, Mexico, after studying the effects of electronics on the human organism. Purix was also employed at the Army's Chemical and Biological Warfare Center at Fort Derrick, Maryland. Researching the effects of LSD for the CIA in 1954. He delved into the effects of digitoid drugs at the Permanent Research Foundation, with funding from the Sandoz Chemical Works. Among Purix's accomplishments was the design of what is described as a radio tooth implant, the technical specs of which were sold to the CIA. At a conference on electromagnetism in September of '87, Purix described this invention. We were able to develop a hearing device that fit under the cap of a tube, and we could hear very clearly from a small little relay receiver. It's like a relay and receiver and transmitter, and unfortunately it was promptly classified by the agency of our government. But we did solve the problem in terms of hardware. The radio tooth implant may still be in use, according to the Chemical and Engineering News for February 5th, 1996, in the story titled, Hong Kong Professor Sues U.S. for Mind Control. The South China Morning Post reported on January 25th that an assistant professor at the University of Science and Technology, Hong Kong, has filed a $100 million suit against the U.S. government for implanting mind control devices in his teeth. Huang Si-ming charges that the devices were implanted during root canal work in 1991 while he was studying at the University of Iowa. According to the Morning Post reported, Patricia Young, another student at Iowa University who, like Young, was born in China, had gone on a shooting spree, and the feds, Huang says, put the devices in his teeth to find out if he was involved. Bear with me. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 12, Verse 10, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Verse 11, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. So at the end of the day, although he may appear clean, you know what I mean, once rust starts becoming like, say as you buy a car, and once rust sets in, is that car is gonna rust away. You can't. I mean, you're gonna have to replace that whole, that whole body. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, and basically what he's saying, like, although you clean it up, that rust still is there. Just like with the whole thing. It's funny because they speaking on China, and then I'm hearing at camp that they said that Donald Trump and the president of China is supposed to come to some kind of terms where they're trying to do something to stop the tariffs, the tariff war that they started. That's how you know that the Most High actually controls the minds and hearts of men. I remember the movie The Shadow. You know what I mean? And he said to control the minds and hearts of men. You know what I mean? Like, but that's just the orchestrator of all this is the Most High. You know what I'm saying? When you take the time to really think about it, it's deep. It tells you the scripture how he gonna punish the people that punished us, but it was the Lord that put the that made him punish us. That's just like with Pharaoh. You know what I mean? He said to go tell him to let you go, but he was gonna harden his heart, so he didn't let you go. But who hardened his heart? The Lord. At the end of the day, that's just show you your enemy. You know what I mean? Like, after this devil done created a trade war, and then now you try. But China's a bunch of devils too. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, all these motherfuckers is unrighteous. I was listening to the brother speak on how you got all these wealthy motherfuckers that supposed to went to Africa, and they sitting up there trying to say that that's where we from, and it's beautiful, because it's gonna be to their demise though. Because at the end of the day, this truth is spread all across the four corners of the earth. It really has. It ain't a coincidence that certain people in Hollywood got the truth, and certain people did. I was watching Rick Rubin, and you got motherfucking Andre 3000. It was a video that was on YouTube, and I'm looking at Rick Rubin. Something just told me to check to see his supposed to be ethnicity. You know what I mean? What nationality do you claim? And of course, he claimed Jewish. But I just something about looking at him, because he like the only. I knew he was a fucking Amalekite. You know what I mean? I just don't know nothing about it, but just through the spirit looked at him. I'm like, that's probably he Jewish, because it's funny. He like the only fucking Amalekite that's rocking this big ass gigantic fucking beard. You know what I'm saying? Fucking devils. You know what I'm saying? Before the Amalek was in the music industry, do you know what kind of, like, how hip hop was? It was empowering to our people. Listen to this shit now. Yeah, he got some kind of stupid ass show. I didn't mean to digress, but that's how the spirit worked. You know what I mean? Because I'm getting back to the point. You can't trust this fucking devil. Then you got the sellout of our people, these 2/3 ass niggas that sitting up here doing videos with him because they got some of Esau's fucking little kingdom that's coming to fucking. I mean, this kingdom is being destroyed in your face, literally. That's how you know that this shit ain't worth nothing. Everybody a fucking billionaire now. I mean, when I heard about Kylie Jenner being a billionaire, I said, how the fuck is this bitch a billionaire off of makeup? And you talking about vanity? What did Solomon say? All is vanity. That's how vain this fucking place is. As motherfuckers starving, as much as good. The guy that created the water out of thin air, the guy Moses, I'll just remember his name was Moses something. He won't probably make $1 off that invention that could save the fucking world, right? That water is going to be pure and cleaner than any fucking water probably on this planet, because Esau is just the fucking son of perdition, destroying every fucking thing. That water probably could be the cleanest water ever, for real. He should be, you would think he would be the richest man ever, right? He won't make $1 off that shit. But this bitch can sell makeup and become a billionaire. Oh my God. Salakia. But my point of saying all that was, this dude went to go get his tooth worked on, but because he probably had some kind of position or something off of China, because he ain't no dude like, as far-fetched as that sound, that don't even sound far-fetched though. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take time to think about it. Like, come on, man. I forgot what movie was that. I know I've seen the bomb and the poison in the tooth, but I could believe a false tooth as a fucking radio transmitter. I remember, look at it now. Look at all the fucking cameras they got. I remember to get a phone with a camera on it, how expensive it was. Now, you could be a guy that work at McDonald's, and if you into that type of shit, just deck your whole house out in fucking cameras. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just, it's deep. Salakia, though, that just brought to mind that scripture. It says the Hong Kong professor says he was a professor. That's what, you know what I mean? And then professors usually have ties with the government. I mean, you know, like people don't know Aleister Crowley. He was all those things, homosexual, warlock, but he was also a intelligence agent for MI6. Right. Just like the fucking dude that's the Satanist in the army. I can't think of his name offhand, but that was one of the students of Anton LaVey. The Hong Kong professor says he suffered Alzheimer's disease-like memory loss that hampered his teaching. It stopped, he says, only when he sought legal aid to mount his lawsuit. Besides the U.S., the suit names the University of Science and Technology on the grounds that it was involved in continuing the mind control work. It also seeks punitive damages of $1 million from the defendants for low ethical standards. I'm gonna stop there.